Okay, hi everyone, welcome. It is Wednesday. It is time for another Mini Mayhem with me, your host, Vee Mus'e. First of all, welcome. It is so good to have you joining me in the chats. I already see that there are a few people who have been waiting, and holy heck, more power to you. Someone was actually in there, I want to say it was like for an hour and a half ahead of time. So thank you for that dedication. But yes, welcome to WizKids channel. So if you are new here, I'm going to do the whole streamer thing. If you are new here, don't forget you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure to ring that notification bell so you know when we go live with things like Much Ado About Gaming, Mini Mayhem, or when we have wonderful things like our unboxings with Scott Porter for our HeroClix line. If you're over on Twitch, hi and welcome as well. Don't forget to follow. We are very excited today because, you know, this is some highly anticipated stuff. I know many of you have been asking about these, so I am personally thrilled to be able to finally bring these to your attention in focus, in front of me, sort of in front of you, you know, through the screen. But yes, today we are going to be looking at the Critical Role Factions of Wildemount sets. We're going to be looking at 3 of the sets. Don't forget, in total, there are 6 sets involved with this release, which is going to be happening next week. June 2nd is release day. So if you have not heard this news yet, that is when you can expect these miniatures to be in your brick and mortar stores, to be available online for purchase, and all that wonderful thing. So a little housekeeping before I get into showing you the actual goods, because, you know, they're right here. They're beautiful and they're sitting right here and I can't wait to show them to you. But keep in mind, like I said, brick and mortar stores will have these available in store. So contact your local store. If you're not sure about a local store near you, just go to wizkids.io/local store. Plug in your information, how far you are actually willing to travel, because yes, that is a thing. And what that link does is it'll show you all the stores in your area that carry WizKids products, including the Critical Role line. And as you can see, I have the chat very active already here as it goes. So if you have a question for me, I don't know why I'm doing this. If you have a question for me, make sure you type in caps question. That'll grab my attention a lot faster so I can see what's going on here, and I will do my best to answer the question that you have for me for you. Keep in mind there are times where I cannot give as detailed of a response because there might still be stuff happening behind the scenes, so I can only share so much. So keep in mind, I'm clear to say certain stuff. Other stuff I need to wait on because it's still in development. It's not to play coy, it's just honestly, I don't have an answer for you quite yet. But yes, very much so going to be sharing the faction set today. Keep in mind, these are all $49.99 MSRP. And you can also check out the wizkids.com/critical role website. That is going to bring you to the main landing page for WizKids, and it's also going to give you other options as to where you can purchase these online. And Critical Role as well on day of release, so next Wednesday, June 2nd, they will have options for purchasing these sets too, but not until the 2nd of June. I want to make sure that's clear. Yes, you can go over and check out their website because why not? But if you're looking to purchase from Critical Role's website, their options will not be live until June 2nd. I want to make sure that is clear and that is out there. Question from the bearded nerd. How's your day going? My day is going. My day is moving along. I'm actually quite excited about it, and oh, these are fun. These are going to be fun. Also, if you're noticing anything with audio issues, let me know so that I can, you know, toggle accordingly. In fact, it looks like maybe the music might be slightly loud. Hold on a minute, darlings. If you are also new here, I will flip between voices. It's just what I do. I am a GM, DM, player of tabletop games, so it's kind of just in me. So if you're new, hi. Next question. Showing the big guy today too? No. Oh no. No. What we are going to do next week is show off the monsters. So you better believe that there's a certain big fellow who I'll be giving a high five to, who will be making their appearance next week, not this week. This week's is factions only. But trust me, there are a lot of miniatures in each of these sets, so we really can only get through 3 of these sets per episode. So if you want to see the creepy crawly monster scary spookies, you're gonna join me next week. Same time, same place, same channels. Okay, different sets, same line. But yeah, monsters are happening next week. This week, factions. Let me see here. Any other questions here? A little off topic, but what's that device behind your left shoulder? This one, that is the hurdy-gurdy. that I put together. It's just something I like to keep out because I had fun painting it, whatever. And hello, Band of Badgers! So nice to see you in the chat as well. And to everyone else, thank you too. It is wonderful to see you. Don't forget, if you're watching and you feel so inspired, you can hit that like button over on YouTube. And you can also spread the word to your friends that this is happening. All right, it's been 5 minutes of chatting. That has been enough time. I think it's time to start showing off these beauties, and I'm going to start off with the Dwendalian Empire. Okay, so the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to show you the boxes up here first, like so, because look at da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. How pretty. And I'm going to talk about the boxes first for you, because there's a couple little points I want you to be aware of when you get these boxes, whether you pick them up at your store or have them delivered to your house. As you can see, the box comes with a clear panel in the front. These are not randomized boxes. What you see is literally what you are going to get. It is all the same minis in each set as you go along. And as Thrifty Steve is asking, any chance of being able to get multiples or duplicates of some of the more common minis? Thrifty Steve, this is not set up like a brick or booster. Basically, to get the miniatures in this set, you purchase the set. They don't get randomized, they don't get mixed up. Each set is set to this. Let's just keep going for it. Set list. So in this particular box, you'll be getting, pardon me, I have my cheat sheet over here. Volstrucker Agent, Ravenite Dragonborn, Dwendalian Aristocrat, Dwendalian Farmer, Dwendalian Crown's Guard, Righteous Brand Soldier, Hills of Pride Call Farmer, and Pumat Sol. And trust me, I am trying desperately not to sing Hills of Pride along with the Hills Are Alive. I will be good. I will save you the show tunes. But this is the box in which it comes. You have the Dungeons and Dragons, you have the Critical Role, you have the title here in the front. You flip it up and look at, you have the gorgeous Critical Role logo right at the top, and you can actually see the figures through the top as well, through that clear panel. It's this lovely palette of Wedgwood blue and seafoam green and ivory, which I think is wonderful. You have the Devon Rue maps as the background artwork. You have the Mighty Nine logo right there, and you have render images of the miniatures themselves. Okay, so that's what the boxes look like when you get it. To open these, you're gonna find that there are taped points at the top. 1, 2, 3. I highly recommend, especially if you want to keep these boxes looking nice. I am going to recommend that you make sure you use, I have done this ahead of time to cut down on audio noise. Just make sure that you open this up using a little penknife or a pair of scissors and just carefully slit the tape so you're not ripping the boxes off. So that is just a little tip here. And yes, I am walking you through how to open a box because I know many of you are thinking of these as collectors as well. So once you do that, you'll be able to flip the panel open from the top quite easily. And then what happens is inside you have this little casing, okay? It's, again, more of the Devon Rue artwork map of Wildemount. And you're going to lift out this panel, which, again, also comes very taped up. I have gone ahead of time and, you know, cut slashes so that everything comes apart, but you can see it will come out like this. Okay, then you're going to want to slit the tape points that are going to be in the front, and you get these little flaps that open up. Okay, then you're going to want to slit, there is a connection point here for the clear plastic portion, and then you're going to want to slit on the side, on either side of these flaps too, to get those open. This again is so for those of you who want to keep these boxes as collector's items but still have a chance to take a look at your miniatures. I'm walking you through all of this. And again, if you have questions for me, make sure in bold question and I will catch it in the chat. Okay, so we have all that going. Oh, that would help if my chat window was boink. No, honey. Hold on, the chat just went funky on me. You might go bye-bye for a second. So, let me get this chat to shrink down to what I need. Hopefully it hasn't affected it too much. So, what you're gonna do then is once you get all of those tape points slit open, you will then be able to pop out, we're almost there, folks. Okay, you're gonna be able to pop out the blister itself. Oh, we're almost there. I lied. We're almost. This is what happens with live streams when you have multiple windows open. We are almost there. So sorry, my apologies. Almost. Okay, there we go. That should have most labor. So then this is gonna pop out, and you have this. Now, this you can actually keep as a nice little display piece. Put it back in the box to keep it safe. I am not gonna throw that like I normally do. But here is the blister itself, and you can see these are all secured beautifully in the blister. Now, this next step is important, and yes, again, I am walking you through how to do this. It is not to be condescending, it is because I have noticed that some people who are getting these ahead of time are not quite sure how to pop these out of the base, so I want to make sure that we are discussing that. So, if you look underneath, you will see there are these openings, so I'm actually able to touch the clear plastic base. And yes, they all come on those clear plastic bases. The names are on the bottom, as you are starting to see in many of the miniatures coming from WizKids. So what you want to make sure you do is you are pushing through the bottom to pop your miniature out. What you do not want to do is take the miniature and try to torque it out on the mini itself. You will snap things because these are basically locked into place to keep them secure and to keep them from popping out and rolling around in the packaging. So what you'll do is you'll just, I can't do this on screen, you'll just pop it in from underneath and basically just use your finger to pop it so it comes out at an angle. All right, and that is how you're going to want to remove these minis from the blister. Okay, and if you want to keep everything in collector condition, well, collector condition because obviously you're opening it, but if you want to keep the packaging nice looking, do be sure to go through and use your knife and scissors to slit those pieces of tape so that everything can come apart and you'll get access to this. This is the same for all of these. Okay, so I'm not going to do this every single time I unbox it, but that is sort of the walkthrough on how to get yourself to this blister. And remember, push up from underneath to pop your mini out by the base. Do not grab the mini by the top and try to pull it out. You will snap something off because these are locked in nice and securely to keep them safe in transport and so on and so forth. Make it pop, as Philarius says. Now, that being said, oxygen's a lovely thing. That being said, I'm gonna flip over to overhead. For those of you who have been here before, you know what the deal is. And we're going to start taking a look at these minis. And I actually popped out, oh, of course I did, the Hills of Pride Call Hill Farmer. I had to, okay? But this lovely fellow, I'm going to show you first. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold them up closer so you get an idea of what these look like. And then I'm just going to put them down back here. And that way you can see the whole collection as they line up. So I'm working from one side to the other. As Big Bearded Nerd said, I 100% would have snapped something off with, yeah, you got to be careful with opening these. And I just wanted to be sure that was clear. So speaking of clear base, which as you can see is showing through, and you can see the name is engraved right there. I'm not going to repeat it. We already know who he is, but look at the poses. I'm going to say the poses for these are fantastic. It's fun to see the different poses, the dynamic posturing. This fellow looks like he's almost shielding his eyes from the sun. Yeah, it's like popping a multivitamin from a blister. Don't eat it. Don't eat. I do not advocate eating the miniatures or the terrain ever unless they're M&Ms and gummy bears. Let's make that very clear. So here you can see holding a basket filled with wares. And it's this theme of reds. The beard is absolutely beautiful. It's this braided beard. And I'm going to toggle my focus just a little bit. And again, those of you who are here know that I do this often. I will go in and configure the video. Let's see if we can get a slightly more focus bit here. There we go. I like that way better. Okay, so you can see he has this lovely braided beard with little closures at different points of the beard, these gold closures. Hair's pulled back. Beard, this is some serious respectable beard on this dude. I'm a fan. So that is one of the first minis from the Dwendalian Empire set. So I'm going to set you over there, sir. You can go live, well, let's put it right there. Then up next, let me pop out the next one. If for some reason my microphone gates out as I'm popping them out of the blisters, it will come back in. So just bear with me while it goes through. What is the farmer's name? I have not named any of these. The farmer does not have a specific name. Next up here, I have for you the Dwendalian Crown's Guard. All right. So here they are. Very serious facial expression, but look at all the details on this armor. Just the texture alone. Also, I had to take my inhaler because allergies. If my hand is shaking, that's why. But look at all the fantastic detail on this armor. Even through, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's this beautiful color tones of golds and browns and just this very slight earthy blue-gray tone. The armor is fantastic. And even the sheathed sword looks wonderful, in my humble opinion. And look at the detail in the back of the hair. You have this motion to it, which is lovely. So that is the second one. The Dwendalian Crown's Guard. Moving along. Ooh, I'm trying to be very careful popping these out. Moving along, we're now going to be taking a look at this fellow, and this one is the Dragonborn. That becomes a tongue twister. I want you to say that. Dragonblood, Dragonborn. Keep saying it over and over again. However, while you're saying it, keep looking. Y'all know I love my details on my minis. I am very much loving the details on this one. Even the sash. Look at the sash going across the one shoulder. And the details that's happening on the trim work of the coat. The belt clearly has numerous little objects attached to it. Sword is popped in its holster. Quite frankly, the coat itself looks like a leather coat. Like in real life, what I'm looking at now definitely has a very leather coat look to it, which I am thrilled about. And it's this beautiful, vivid yellow for the skin tone, or the scale tone, maybe scale tone. And again, these little extra details, like look at, you have these bands wrapped around the tip of the tail. You are never late. Never ever, gallant goblin. You always arrive whenever you can, and that is always welcome and appreciated. No one is ever late to my streams. You show when you can. But look at the expression. It's this wonderful, charming expression on the face. And you have this beautiful detail work of the fins along the sides. And these little, not tentacles, tendrils that are hanging down too. Almost beard-like. Kind of reminds me of a bearded lizard, but you know, it's not a bearded lizard. Let's look at the back collar too. Because even the back collar has this gorgeous detail work on it. So that's the third one. We could very easily take way too long on these. Next one up, I'm hopping over to the other side. I have my reasons, folks. I have my reasons. This one is the Dwendalian Farmer. Straight up just the farmer, and oh my gosh, talk about sassafras. I love the pose. Take a look at this. We have hands on hip, ready complexion, red hair, dwarf, all set and ready for the fields. So this is another one in this particular set. Is there an echo? There might be. There we go. Echo fixed. So there is this one. And again, just this is one of those things where you can use these minis even in other tabletop games, which I am very much a fan on. It's not just for the world of Exandria. You can use these in other games too. But oh my gosh, just the personality behind this one. Could you imagine making this one an NPC and just jumping in and having this NPC as an encounter in and of itself? Like I'm already like starting to hear her voice, sort of like gruff and sassy. Fun like that. Okay, so let's keep going because I have more of these to share with you. Again, I'm going to pop out going through the bottom, making sure I tip from one side going to the other so that they pop out nice and clean like so. 100% a necromancer. It's quite possible. Okay, here we have the Volstrucker Agent. And this one I am a big fan of because of this little askance look to the side. They all have lovely expressions, and I'm just playing with my brightness a little bit here. Bear with me. When I say my computer went into full reset, I mean full-on reset here. Okay, not going to fuss too much. But here you can see it's a color palette of darker purples and blacks, cloaked, wrap around the shoulder, pinned. Take a look at that sword with that flash of red detail. And the spell effect, again, is that clear plastic with the blue tone to it. Yes, I'm back, Valerius. Windows wanted to have fun. Windows wanted to play with us. Poorly timed Windows. But here we go. This is the Volstrucker Agent. And again, these are all going to be on those clear bases. How many minis past the style icon Leathercoat Dragonborn are you getting? I believe there are 3 Dragonborns in this set collection. And we should be seeing them all today. All right, so we have that one. And next up is, I believe this is the Righteous Guard. Who does not want to be so righteous and come out and play? There we go. So yes, this is the Righteous Brand Soldier. And again, let's talk about armor detail going on here. I am very much loving all these little details that are popping up on these. You can even see the striations in the gauntlet. A vivid red cloak, sort of tossed over one shoulder, pinned to the back. I'm just playing around a little bit more here. There we go. Sort of a solemn expression on the face. Oh, I removed the music just in case. Sometimes the music can be a little sync. But there you have the Righteous Brand Soldier. And then we're going to hop over to, this is honestly my top 2 favorite, this next fellow. So here we have the Dwendalian Aristocrat. And this is one that I'm honestly tickled with because of, where is the exposure? Hold on here. Aha. I'm still playing, forgive me. I'm still playing, but I'm annoyed with the settings getting botched a little bit there. But this one, you want to talk about once I get saturation where I want it. There. Once you get looking into this fellow, there's more and more details that happened with this particular aristocrat. You can see the weight in the coat thrown over the shoulders, the fur detail at the top. And then you have this lovely orange and yellow sash tied around the waist, pinned with a very prominent brooch or pin. You have those gold closure details on the waistcoat. Looks like he has like a cravat going on there. But this is one of those things where, again, you keep looking and you see there's more detail that keeps popping through. So this is the aristocrat, the Dwendalian Aristocrats. That's actually a good movie. Let me put that one down. And that's just it. This is, I would absolutely pull out that miniature for any type of, say you were going to a lord's manor, or even for like a mayor or, you know, a governor, lord-esque type personality. That is the mini I would be grabbing from my collection. I'm not kidding, because of the imposing appearance of that particular miniature. Okay, so here is our Dragonborn number 2. This is the Ravenite Dragonborn. And, oh boy. Again, details and colors and just these little extra touches. Look at all those little bits around the belts and the crossover that you have going on around the chest. Again, this fur upon the shoulders. And the back detail. Even the scales on the arms. The fur trim on the bracers, I should say. Can see the clawed feet. And while the other one had more of a serene, amiable expression, this one definitely is a little bit more intimidating. Hammer not included. Even without the hammer, this one's almost got like this sneering look to it, which I think is ever so much fun to have these different personalities coming out in the expressions of these miniatures. So there's this one, and then let me hold them up together. So you can see. This is one I'd go out and have a drink with. This is one I would find the information I needed and get going. But both are lovely. I'm really super pleased with the details that have gone into these miniatures. Yes, Filiaris. The sculptors have done a fantastic job with these designs in all of them. This is consistent throughout all the sets. You're going to find these tiny little details, these little bits that start adding to the story of the NPC characters themselves, which I'm a huge fan of. Hello, Shazam Sanders. Yes, Dragonborn love. And then the figure of the hour, well, at least in the Dwendalian set. Ow. We have, guess who we have? Who wants to guess who's in my hands right now? I mean, I did read off the set list earlier, but guess who's coming out to play right now? And I am so excited to share this one with you, because it's amazing and it is lovely and it is wonderful. So here we have Pumat Sol. You can actually have Pumat at your table. Oh gosh, this is honestly my favorite out of the faction set, simply because I have an affinity for this particular fellow. But yes, you get one. You get one Pumat in your set. So if it's a matter of you want your other Pumats, you will have to get multiple sets, just saying. But really, because of the variety of the miniatures that you're getting in this set, there's nothing wrong with getting 4 extras of everything just because. But yeah, take a look at this one. You know, a Furbolg Volo would be amazing. Alternate universe. There is writing on the book. Look at this. You have writing on the book. I love the gesture of pointing to it. Take a look at the back. The folds in the fabric. It's this beautiful earthy color blend palette. Earth greens, tans, browns. His adorable nose. Pumat's Guide to Books. Yes, Pumat's Guide to Books. Absolutely. But Pumat Sol is in the Dwendalian set. Okay? So keep that in mind. If you want this lovely, then you need to get this lovely. Okay? So that's the set that this one comes in. So this is the first faction set that I wanted to share with you. I am going to just quickly move these. I'll move them back. Let's move them back. Everyone's going to take a big step back, and we'll go into our next set. And that one is going to be the King and Xhorhas Empire. Or not the Empire, sorry, looking at 2 boxes at the same time. So this is the Kryn Dynasty and the Xhorhas set, which is right here. So I'm going to go to main screen again. Ta-da. So this is what this set looks like. Again, you have the clear panel so you can see everything you get. These are not randomized miniatures. These are set inside. These are the ones you're going to get. It's not like a brick where you pull out random minis. This is what's coming in this package. All right, and again, it opens from the top. And once you cut away all the tape points, it will come off the cardboard backing. And then you'll get this lovely blister of this. And again, you're getting a whole bunch of minis in this. And again, $49.99 next week, June 2nd, available in stores. That's an interesting point, Leonardo. Dragonborn's favoring Warhammers. I don't know if that's intentional or just how it's kind of been happening. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to read through the list here of who is here. You have a Lotus Den Halfling, Dark Elf Rogue, Echo Knight and its Echo, Trader of Kryn, Kryn Noble, Graviturgy Wizard, Chronergy Wizard, Dunamancy Wizard. These are words I can normally say. I'm also still a little flustered from the crash from before, so bear with me on that one. But again, a nice grouping of minis. Lots of fun and dynamic poses, so we're going to get into it. I'm going to start popping these out and we can take a look at them at the close-up cam. So the first one we're going to look at, and I love this one, even though I have issues with the name, more for pronunciation than anything else. This is the Chronergy Wizard. And this wizard is wee. Okay, so take a look. lovely and small. This is totally an SMOL. In fact, I'm going to take Pumat and this one and put them side by side. Look at this. Look at this. How fantastic. There is such a great variety of stature in this collection. Okay, you have your tall, you have your small, you have such a great blend of races and classes. I am tickled about that factor. But as you can see, we're looking at blues and purples for the color palette here. We have spell effects happening with the transparent plastic. This is sort of lavenders and cranberry reds going on. You even have a touch of gray factor happening in the hair. So sort of a salt and pepper hairstyle. I do like, yes, it has a clock-like look to it, this, you know, passage of time factor going on here. But this is another one. You know, could this one help me out? Like, I'd like to kind of, I'm kidding. Can we go back like an hour? Totally kidding. But this is the first one from the set. Again, it's just all these fun details. The flap of the cape. A handsome devil. I agree. Quite a handsome fellow, but look how small. Look at how small. I'm keeping the focus towards the front so we can actually focus on the minis. Do you want to keep going with small? We'll keep going with small. Let me pop out the next small in this set. And this one is the Lotus Den Halfling. But here we're looking at that seafoam green, browns, and deeper greens. But look at all these lovely little, you have the two satchels filled to the brim, the lovely staff with that curvature to it. Clear base. Don't forget clear base for all of these. You even have these great little, I'm trying to see, little details in her hair. And it's such a unique miniature. I'm thrilled to bits with this, quite frankly. This is one I want to meet. This is absolutely one I want to meet. I might even make as something to meet type of situation. All right, we're going to keep going because we have a lot of these minis to go through. Again, popping out from the bottom. I'm trying to keep it away from the microphone so the microphone doesn't get mad at me. Aha! Now we're going to take a look at the Dark Elf Rogue. This is actually, I'm going to say this. This is a fantastic rogue miniature. Right off the bat, if you're playing a Dark Elf Rogue, this is one I would absolutely use for my own like PC mini mode. But look at this. The blades alone on this mini. I'm all over these details. I'm not kidding. When you get your sets, just sit there, look at your miniatures, study them. And the more you turn them around, the more you're going to find all these details. Even like a fade cut for the hairstyle. So this figure is just... I'm a fan of the pose and of the look entirely. So you have that one. Even look at here. You can see all the details that are going on here. It's like a leather chest plate, it looks like. And the shoulder armor. Really, it's got these... The more you look, the more you find. I'm not kidding. The more you look at these miniatures, the more small touches and nods to them as their own characters is definitely put into these sculptures. All right, moving along. This is one of my favorites from this particular set. So here you have the Kreen Noble. Ta-da. And again, it's another dark elf. But look at the style of the clothing, first of all. It's such a regal pose. Like, this is someone you don't want to mess with at all. Nope, don't want to mess with them. That's not advisable. It is very classy, Leonardo. That's a good word for it. This is very classy looking. You can almost hear this very upper class, serene way of speaking with the party, but not one you'd want to mess with. Yes, I have minis that sometimes get voices in my head. But there you go. That is the noble. Like I said, that's one of my favorites in this particular set because of the pose and because of the clothes. And then we're going to take a look at, this one's a fun one. This one's fun. I saw this mini and I couldn't help but chuckle just because this is the Trader of Cream. But you want to talk about personality. Could play it off. It looks almost orc, half orc. As long as my voices come alongside a mini. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but, I mean, this one, she's kind of gonna come and talk to you like this. Very matter of fact and in your face. That's just, like, that's the personality that came to mind when I saw. But again, you have these beautiful purples. This dark bluish green. Look at the boots. Lighter tones of gray for the boots. And look at this. You have this lovely filled to the brim net. You can almost hear the rope straining when she shifts, and it's just, oh. Yeah. And see, that's interesting, Shazam. Some people are saying a Russian type accent. To me, this is a no-nonsense, ready to help, but, you know, straight to the point type of character. That's just the feel that I get looking at the pose. But yeah, that's another fantastic one. Surprisingly, not one of my favorites. It's up there. I like it. It looks great. But we're going to keep going. Let's pop out this one. Be nice. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the Dunamancy Wizard. Again, we have Dark Elf. This has almost an anime-esque, and those of you who watch know what I'm talking about. This has an anime-esque pose to it with the way the cape is flying out from behind, the spell effect dead center, the posing of the hands, like the tipped head. I can almost hear, like, you know, the montage, spell being cast, everything going on like that, but this is truly a dynamic sculpt because of it. And you can see it's purples, blacks, and silvers with that bright pink spell effect. But wow, is it a gorgeous mini. And yes, this is my favorite out of it. This is my favorite from the set because of this pose. And the way you can almost hear the fabric whipping in the wind. Look at even the details in the hair. You have a little tiara and the band going around the back, and then you have this clip. Right? There is an energy, absolutely hilarious, to this. You can hear what's happening to the environment around them as they cast this spell, which I think is so much fun to have. Again, I like it when you have miniatures that almost start telling their own stories as a result of how they are posed, the colors that you'll see in them, the little extra details that are put in there. So while we're looking at wizards, let's take a look at the next one. This is the Graviturgy Wizard. And this is, again, take a look. First of all, fantastic pattern on the dress, which I'm quite happy to see. You have all this great symbology painted on there. Purples, turquoise blues, golds. Wonderful movement and motion again in the sculpt. The spell effect itself is clear plastic. It's not really tinted. The open book in one hand, and look at the expression, like determination. This is someone you want on your side for sure. This is the Graviturgy one. So much fun. Even the ruffles at the bottom of the dress. The rippling of the fabric. I'm a fan of this. When fabric is moving, even though it's still, it is such an amazing effect. Because I feel it adds to the environment, especially when you're using your terrain and everything like that. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now this one is a twofer because we're looking at the Echo Knight and its Echo. So I got to pop out both of them, onesie and twosie. Here we go. Gotta put the blister there. And now let me turn my chair because, you know, I need both for this one, both hands. Here you have your Echo Knight and the Echo. Mirror images of each other, okay? The Echo is that transparent plastic of dark grays. And then the Echo Knight is sort of plums and darker purples with the lovely golden hair that is pulled back into a braid. Look at the details on the axe. And they are it's basically the same details for both Echo and Echo Knight. But they're mirror images of each other, which I find to be, I don't know why, but I like the fact that they're mirror images. It's not just carbon copy, cut and paste. I mean, it is a copy, but you can see, again, the fabric in motion, moving around. Clear base, so you can see your terrain underneath. It's so much fun. It really is so much fun. And yeah, you will notice that someone's saying it looks like they have a cold. The Echo Knight has a little bit of a rosy nose. Not quite sure the story is behind that one, but I think it's sort of an endearing quality to the Echo Knight. It's like, oh, you've been doing some stuff. You've been working really hard. So that is the Queen and Xhorhas set. So let me, don't laugh because of how I want to make sure I'm spelling it right. I've been phonetically saying it. So let me shift these all back from our lineup for unboxing. Put them all back here. And we're going to go into our last one, which is the Clovis Concord and Menagerie Coast. So I'm going to go back up to the main screen so you can see this lovely box. This is next week, June 2nd, available in stores, $49.99. Check out that link next to me, wizkids.com/critical-role, and that will get you to see all 6 of the sets. Don't forget, next week are our monster sets. Just a quick look at the box. All these boxes are the same size. For the factions, they're all the same size too. Hey, Calcius, it's totally okay. I'm just about to open up the last one. And like before, I made sure to prep the box, especially when I keep the boxes for display purposes. You do want to make sure that you're going through and you are slitting the tape. Okay, slit here, sides, slit in the back. Get that tape going so it flaps open. And then you're going to lift out basically a lovely insert with the Devonru map. And then once you take care of all the tape pieces of that from the blister against the map background, you'll have your blister pop out like so. So here we go. Clovis Concord and Menagerie Coast. So let me hold these lovelies up for you while I read through who is in this one. You have the hollow one, Fisherman of Clovis, Clovis Noble, Clovis Concord, Zalezo, Shore Warden Soldier, the Grinner, Blood Hunter, and Pallid Elf. Again, it's a lovely mix in all of these of various NPCs, and some very much could be used as PCs, as I discussed before. So we seem to like checking out the smalls first. Let me pop out this small. And we're gonna go back to overhead. So now, again, this is Clovis and Menagerie. We're gonna be taking a look at the Clovis Noble. So here we have our Clovis Noble. Another halfling. Look at this color palette though. It's lime greens, it's lemon yellow, this bright flashy purple, a teal green, a turquoise blue, a lovely tri-corner hat. Well, happy birthday, Shazam! We're releasing these minis just for you. But yep, this is your Clovis Noble. Just the personality behind the outfit too. This is another one I could see very easily becoming a PC mini. like maybe a bard halfling type of situation, or gnome something or other type of situation. But this is going to get a lot of mileage, in my opinion, at my table. Not just an NPC. I could see that being another fun PC inspiring mini. So that's the first one. Put you down there, my small friend. And then we're going to hop over. At this point, I'm just kind of going back and forth, taking them out of. So here you have your palette elf. I am such a fan of this pose. It's very determined and very serious. Dagger is drawn. There's another dagger ready at hand. Color palette here, you have mostly dark grays, dark browns, touch of the pale blonde hair and skin. You have this beautiful drape to the fabric of the cloak. Striations in the hair. Exactly. This is no. You better ante up and start talking. This is a no nonsense. This is another one with a no nonsense pose. But again, this is another one I could very easily see shifting, not just as an NPC mini, but also as a PC mini. Be it fighter, rogue, ranger. You've got some mileage with these minis. They don't just have to be what you see printed on the bottom. But again, they all are those clear bases with what they are or who they are put onto the bottom as well. Okay, next up, here we go. We're going to take a look at the Fisherman of Clovis. As you can see, straight up fisherman. Barefoot and everything. You can even see like little tear marks of the pants. They're called clam diggers, right? Simple belt around the waist. Fish strung up, ready for either the market, heading home, what have you. Simple details, but I think that captures the fact that it is a fisherman well. Elf heritage, dark black hair. Very much has the expression of, can I help you? Fish. Who would like fish? What's for dinner? Fish. All right, so that is the Fisherman of Clovis. See, this is where, because this is where, do you want the third Dragonborn? We'll take a look at the third Dragonborn. The everyday people minis are extremely useful. Yes, I agree, Justice. It's, in my opinion, it's great when you can have NPC minis that are ready to go right out of the box, because so often I find players love to engage with them. But this is our final Dragonborn. This one is labeled, however, the Clovis Concord Zalezo. So here you have a specific Dragonborn for you. But the musculature and the details. Look at this. A great gallant goblin. There are more commoners. There are more races that are coming up to the forefront, and it's wonderful to see. Just even the texture. Look at this. The texture that's happening in the fabric. Not only do you have the folds of the fabric, you have the texture that's coming through, even on the body. This lovely gold detail, the folds in the turban. And it's sort of those, I could date myself. I could very well date myself with the type of pants I'm ready to say, but with the harem-esque pants. I was going to say MC Hammer. Too legit. No. She's straying, folks. She's straying. It's a beautifully sculpted mini Shazam. I agree. Quite frankly, all of the Dragonborns are beautifully done. If you're looking for some strong Dragonborn PC options, NPC options, between these sets, yes, there are some fantastic Dragonborns floating around in here. I mean, even in the back, look at, you have the, I'm going to say Dewclaw, but you have that back talon happening there. It's a great mini. It really is. Let's see what's Justice saying. I love the armor on this one. Reminds me of 15th. Yes, very much so. Very much so. It's extremely evocative 15th century Indo-Persian. Very much so, Justice. I completely agree. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, now this is like picking, this is getting harder, quite frankly, because there's so many cool ones in this particular, the Clovis set. Okay, this is another one that I saw this one and I was so happy, so giddy, because again, it's personality coming out. This you have is the Shore Warden Soldier. But look at, you know when I really like a mini because I get quiet for a little bit and I just sort of sit and gaze and admire. So even though it's this combination of canary yellows, golden tones, you have sort of a darker turquoise blue coming into play, medium browns and tans, and hints of orange, accents of orange. It's just, it's lovely. The details, again, there's more texture and design happening in the fabric of the tunic. You can even see the coils of the rope, the folds in the sash, the details in the shield. You can almost see, like if you hear you can hear a weapon hitting this shield. Dong. When minis are evocative of what could be happening around them, I have fun. The spear itself. Look at that. Look at the spearhead. Just that little notch and curvature I think is so lovely. You know, yes, Leonardo, motherly and badass at the same time. And that's just it. These have such an individual presence to each of them. They all have their own little story starting up. Between the posturing, the expression on the faces, what they're wearing, how they're wearing it. Look at, what do you want? You're here. Who are you? Why are you here? What do you want? What's your business? Like, you can just hear this person coming to life. I'm thrilled with it. This is one of my favorites from this set. It's a lovely, lovely sculpt. Again, excited because there's so much storytelling happening. Okay, now we're down to the top 3, so to speak. So let's take, ooh, who do I want to have come out? Okay, we'll do this one. Blood Hunter. Here comes the Blood Hunter. Wait until you see this one. All right, here we have our Blood Hunter. Look at that sword, yo. Okay. This looks like flicking flames. You can hear the sizzle coming from the sword. I mean, really. It's that transparent plastic again. It's a mix of yellows and oranges, more orange towards the tip of the flame, which actually that's technically with fire. That's what you want. But look at through here. Beautiful detail on the hilt and the handguard. But then look at the detail on the Blood Hunter's clothing. And the pose. Again, you almost have like this come at me bro-esque attitude, which is just so much fun. Again, I am admiring and I am enjoying. Not exactly a pose you see often. Confident, determined, focused. All because of the posture in the sculpt. Take a look at the back. More simple lines in terms of the clothing, but again, you're seeing the folds of the fabric. Color tones we have here are mix of dark grays, some warmer grays, some cooler grays. And then you have brown in there as well. And I like that we have this strand of hair. Let me point this out because I think some people will be like, what happened? That's actually a strand of hair whipping across the forehead. They painted that on. They all have that. That's supposed to be there. But oh, just like, I'm waiting for that hand to do this, right? It's very strong contours on this mini. Absolutely agree. Oh. So this is the Blood Hunter, which is wonderful and fantastic. And okay, we're down to 2. Which one do I want to end on? That is the question. think I'm going to end on that one. I will end on that one. So here we have the hollow one. Okay, you ready? Look at this one. Get my hand anchored. But here you have the hollow one, and holy heck. Again, sort of a salt and pepper-esque to the hair. So it's this dark black on the top and it goes gray along the sides. You have this tattered cape thrown over the one's shoulder. The sword piercing through the body. Yep, you know, just can't sheathe your sword, just stick it in your torso. He doesn't look well. Well, you know, these hollow ones, they have stories behind them. And just, it's almost this vacant-like stare with purpose, if that makes sense. And look at the details here. The trim. It's almost like a Grecian key pattern along the trim. The boots are leather boots. Bring it a little closer. You even have holes in the fabric. And you know I'm a fan of that. When fabric is looking old and tattered, when the holes are actually there and not just painted black to look like a hole. That is wonderful. You have the hand axe. The straps that are happening along the back of the armor. And the armor is gold, but it's, you know, worn gold. It's seen things. It's been through battles. And this goatee-like beard on the face. But yes, this is your hollow one from the Clovis Concord and Menagerie Coast set. And finally, last, not least, but I think it's a good way to end with a stream that almost didn't happen. We have the Grinner. This lovely mix of colors, patterns, the pose, the grin on the face, my goodness, even the buckled shoes. There's a lot happening on this miniature detail-wise. Violin and bow in hand, backpack, bedroll, satchel, patterns on the coat, the puff sleeves. I mean, it is just, and this, hey, pose. It's a fun one. This really is a fun one. And look at the details, even that. Beautifully detailed back. A bit of a peacock, that, you know, not wrong. Orc, half orc, bard. Like I said, so many of these would be great fodder for creating PCs of your own too. Yes, these are set up to be NPCs. Yes, you know, absolutely can pick them up and place them into your Exandria campaign, but they're also fantastic, just general tabletop RPG miniatures. I can see these shifting and being used in so many other ways. There's a versatility to them, and I think that's wonderful, especially because they all have these personalities that are just almost ingrained in how they're created. I've thoroughly enjoyed, quite frankly, the faction set and getting to see all of these miniatures up close and personal and seeing how they all have their own individual quirks and personalities. They are lovely. They really, truly are lovely, each and every one. He reminds me of the orc thief who used intimidation instead of stealth to avoid being seen. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so back to main screen. So, for those of you who were with me for both of the streams, Stream Interrupted and second stream, thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is just 3 of the 6 sets. If you want to see all 6 of the sets, then by all means, check out this link right here. Okay, go to this link. It'll have all 6 sets listed there for you, as well as places where you can buy these. Again, these are coming out next week. June 2nd is your release date for these sets. They will be in stores, brick and mortar stores. They will also be online options as well. They will be up for purchase on Critical Role's website on June 2nd. If you go to look now and try to purchase, there's nothing there yet. Okay, so if you want to purchase from Critical Role, then you need to make sure you get to their website on June 2nd. That is when they will have a live link ready for purchase for all 6 of these sets too. And then again, if you go to this page here, if you go here, there are other options for where you can purchase these. And for those of you who placed pre-orders will be shipping out as well. We're getting ready for those. Just keep in mind, shipping is still kind of interesting. Just in general, once it gets picked up from the dock, there's only so much that we can do in terms of how long it'll take to get to you. So just keep in mind your patience is appreciated. If you've placed your pre-order, you will be getting your sets. Just, heads up. The Nat 1 for initiative didn't stick. Wave 15 is starting to hit stores. Wave 14, unpainted miniatures. That is starting to hit stores. So yes, keep that in mind. You have your Wave 14, your UPM should be coming through today. So keep that in mind. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, thank you for hanging out with me. This was well, no, see, irony of Brian, you're not, you might be ahead, but for me, you're actually right on track because I'm already dealing with Wave 15, and I gotta tell you, I'm excited about Wave 15 for the UPM, but shocker, mini painter excited for the unpainted minis. But to see more of the Critical Role sets, be sure to tune in next week, June 2nd, 12 p.m. Everyone, cross your fingers that I'll be able to do the full unboxing in one fell swoop for next week. I'm going to get that scheduled up and ready to go so everyone can kind of mark your calendars and all that goodness. But yes, I will have Monsters Set 1, Monsters Set 2, and then a certain big fellow who I'm sure many of you are seeing floating around on socials as well. I highly recommend you go over and check out the Gallant Goblin. If you're still floating in the chat, thank you. I highly recommend you go check out the Gallant Goblin. They have videos up now that you can take a peek at and get some more views of these as well. But if you want to get my feedback, my reactions, my thoughts on these miniatures, especially the monsters, because I have a thing for monsters, come and join me next week. I'm going to wrap this up for now. If you have any other questions, find me on my socials, Vee Mus'e, pretty much everywhere now. And yeah, I will see you. Anon. I'm going to wrap it up. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. I will see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye.